Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your inveterate reporter coming to you once again from Central Florida. Today is August 12th, Tuesday, 2025. It has been an historic day in America. A major American city, the capital of the United States, has been taken over, federalized, taken over by the White House, by the President of the United States, by his decree. Federal troops, National Guardsmen, FBI agents on the streets, detaining American citizens, arresting American citizens, the military. Last time I checked, the crime rate in Washington, D.C. had gone down. We must be very aware of the fascist streak, the authoritarian streak, the tyrannical streak coming out of the White House. The man has not spoken about health care. The man has not spoken about education other than to dismantle the Department of Education. The man is about tearing down our institutions, particularly the social safety net that has been built up over the last 70 years or so. He's against unions, and if it weren't for a union, I wouldn't be sitting here in my retirement. We are, as I said to you before, in a very dangerous spot. And by the way, I'm going to digress for a moment to thank you all for listening to my my old man musings, if you will. It's just that I want it on record where I stood at this particular time, and where I stood vis-a-vis President 47. Now let me get back to the topic of him and his associate and sponsor, in a sense, other than Vladimir Putin, and by the way, we'll talk about him in a moment, is the Heritage Foundation. They are basically running the country. That Project 2025 is being implemented by them and their acolytes. And one of their acolytes and one of the platforms that they use is Fox News. And what they have done to this country, the damage is immeasurable. What they have done over the last 25 years. Rupert Murdoch, an immigrant, by the way, from Australia. What they have done. They have used, and I must say, President 47 has used the public fascination with reality television and with television in general. And he knows that the level of awareness of Americans can easily be manipulated, and has been for years. Our educational system has done a great job up until now, up until people like myself and others have become woke, if you will. I learned things after I retired, after 33 years, as I told you the other night, as an educator, as a teacher and administrator in New York City. I learned things and read novels that I should have known and read in junior high school and high school. Ridiculous. In college even. Ridiculous. But that's the way it is in America. We are the United States of amnesia. Once again, as Gore Vidal coined that phrase many years ago. The United States of amnesia. We take an incident like the Alamo, which was supposed to be a great patriotic fight for freedom by freedom fighters, and actually it was a fight for slavery. And slave owners wanted Texas to have slaves, and Mexico, which owned Texas at the time, which was Texas was part of Mexico, their law was prohibitive of slavery. No slavery in Mexico. And that's what it was. These gentlemen who were gentlemen, I use it very loosely, who held down the Alamo, they wanted freedom from Mexico, and yet they would not allow freedom for their slaves, for other human beings. This was not taught, of course. It was glossed over, as were many things. The Tulsa massacre of 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, as it were. A number of things. So do yourself a favor. Look out for the other guy. I mentioned to someone the other day the excellent movie, I think it was made in 1941, called Sullivan's Travels, with starring Joel McCrea. In fact, one of my favorite old films. But Joel McCrea, his character was a Hollywood producer who wanted to produce this novel in the middle of the Depression, of course, called "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And I smile because that was later on the title of a movie with George Clooney. It was set in the Depression about 3 runaway convicts in the South. And it was called "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And I ask you now, oh brother, where art thou? Do we have someone who's caring for us in the White House? Oh brother, where art thou? We should be looking out for American citizens and other people, by the way, because in fact we are citizens of the world. I know they will call me a globalist, and that's okay. But I do feel like I'm a citizen of the world. I'm an American citizen first, if you will, but I'm a human being prior to that. So that's where I am, a free market socialist. That's what I am, whatever that is. Okay, well, enough of my musings. Bonne nuit.